tuning in to go through this short and sweet yoga sequence with me today. Whatever time of day it is for you right now, I hope that you're having a good one or have had a good one. We are gonna go through quite a brief but really kind of deep and nice mini sequence right now. So perfect for just showing your body a little bit more care and love, okay? You could kind of consider it a bit of a rehab flow, maybe, if you've been overtraining, or likewise if you've not been moving enough. A nice way to just show your body a little bit more kindness. Okay, so as with all of these kind of at-home practices, super important to make sure that you're checking in with your own body. And assessing what it needs and where it wants to go, okay, moment to moment throughout the whole flow. With that in mind, let's get started. Okay, so I want us to begin starting on our backs today. So we're going to come down to a reclined position. Now the soles of the feet are going to come together, just letting the knees fall out to the side. Alright, if this is already kind of really uncomfortable for you and you don't have that space in the hips, then you can just plant the feet down and let the knees face up, okay? Now we're going to bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. And we're going to close down the eyes. And before we bring any movements to the body, we're just going to take this opportunity to connect deeply with the breath. So seal in the mouth, the breath comes in and out through the nose. And just take a moment here to sort of check in with how you're feeling. Just notice where your mind's at. Notice where your awareness kind of naturally wanders. And if you find yourself in some kind of crazy thought spiral, just bring that same awareness back to the breath, okay? Focusing on every inhale and every exhale. And see if that helps to ground you a little bit more. See if we can deepen the breath with each cycle. And if your feet are soles together, knees apart, and you start to feel a little bit of niggles, it's not feeling so good, then you can always plant the feet down and just have the knees facing upwards, okay? Breathing deeply in. And softly letting that exhale go. Stretch the arms up toward the ceiling, okay? Big stretch with the arms here, and then start to stretch through the fingers. So drawing the fingers into the palm and then stretching them back out. And then into the palm and stretching them back out. Rotating through the wrist one way and then the other way. We're going to let our right arm fall across to the side, okay? So the right forearm kind of goes across that left shoulder. And then draw it in tight with the left arm. So taking the shoulder stretch. Keep the eyes closed here if you can. And continue to breathe. And continue to soften. And release, take the arms back up to the sky. Again, flickering the fingers, stretching out through the hands, rotating through the wrist. Same stretch, other side. Left arm goes across to the right. Left forearm lying over the right shoulder. Use the right arm to draw that Left arm down. And release. Both arms back to the sky. A little bit of a flicker again with the fingers. Then we're going to come to the leg. So the right leg is going to go along. We're going to draw the left knee in toward the chest, wrapping the hands around the left shin. And if that's too intense, then the hands can come around the back of the left thigh. Start to mobilize through the hip, maybe drawing some little circles, maybe just having a little sway side to side. Again, hugging the knee into the chest. This time bring the forehead up to meet the knee. And release. We're going to come straight into the other side. So left leg goes long. Right knee in toward the chest. Wrap the hands around the shin on the back of the thigh. Start to mobilize through the hip. Drawing circles with the left knee. Noticing how the tailbones are being massaged down into the earth. Maybe just swaying one side to the other. Come back through center. This time the forehead comes up to meet the knee, really squeezing tight. Release the shoulders and the head back to the earth. The left knee comes into the chest to meet the right. Wrap both arms around both shins. Take some big deep breaths here as we sway side to side. And then bringing the hands behind the back of the thighs, we're going to start to rock and roll up and down the length of the spine. Enjoy a couple of rocks back and forth here. So we can start to iron out the back, soothing the nervous system, grounding down into the mat. We're going to eventually come into a tabletop position, so you can roll over the knees if that feels good for you. However you get there, we're going to meet in that tabletop. Joints stacked, wrists, elbows and shoulders, knees and hips. You can have the toes tucked here if you like, or the tops of the feet can be down. As we exhale, chin to chest, as we round the spine, really try and dome through the upper back here, okay? So we're pressing the earth away. We're pulling the tailbone under, okay? Tilting the pelvis. As we inhale, the chest shines forward, the chin starts to lift, the bum goes high, gaze up. And again, exhale. And inhale. One more time, exhale. And inhale. This time on your exhale, we're going to meet in our downward facing dog. So if your toes weren't tucked then, give them a little tuck. Let's start to send the hips to the sky. Meeting in our first down dog position. Now I want us to kind of imagine that we're drawing a bit of a circle with the sit bones here, okay? So rock forward on the toes and then around. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. So we're drawing that circle with the sit bones. Take it back the other way. One more time, the first way. Don't know whether you started clockwise or anti-clockwise. And then reverse it for the final time. Beautiful. From down dog, start to walk the hands back toward the feet, soft through the knees, finding a forward fold. In this forward fold, let's take a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows with opposite hands, letting the head go heavy. Notice the weight distribution in your feet here, okay? So send the weight forward a little bit, picking up the heels, and then send it back, picking up the toes. So just notice where your weight naturally goes, and then try and make sure it's evenly spread. Release the elbows, chin stays to the chest as we start to peel all the way up. Feeling every single piece of the spine here as we uncurl and unravel into that standing position. Find ourselves stood here, chest open, arms down by the side of the body. Let's take a tuck of the chin, stretching out the back of the neck, and then roll the left ear ear to the left shoulder. Chin comes back through center, right ear to right shoulder. Chin back to chest and head back to that nice natural position. Let's heel toe the feet about, further than hip width apart here. So we're not quite mat width, but we're wider than hip, okay? Left arm's gonna start to slide down the left leg as the right arm goes up and over. So we're really opening through the right side of the body. Now make sure the hips are still facing forward here. We don't wanna twist to the left. We wanna open through the side. Back through center. Other side, right arm down the right leg, left arm up and over. Again, hips are shining forward. Back through center. Gonna go for our second fold here. This time we're gonna interlace the hands at the base of the spine. Pull that fist together. So feeling that opening through the chest, that stretch through the shoulders. Soften the knees, dive the chest down. Forward fold. Head can be heavy, knees can be soft. Maybe it feels good to sort of lift one hip at a time to really work into those hamstrings. You're being really mindful with every movement today, really kind, slow flow. Stay folded, release the hands, fingertips all the way to the earth. Let's start to creep the hands forward toward the top of the mat. Reset the feet about hip width apart, find your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we're going to come up high onto the toes, start to roll the hips forward. We're going to meet in that high plank position. From high plank, drop the knees to the earth, drop the chest and the chin down, untuck the toes and peel forward into a baby cobra. Exhale, roll down, we're on the belly. Inhale, peel back up, shine that heart space forward. Exhale, roll down. One more, inhale. And exhale, roll down. We're going to press it back to a child's pose, meeting here. Hips back to the heels, forehead resting on the ground. Close off the eyes again so that we can really connect to that breath. It's often easier to keep that breath connection through a kind of slower and deep practice. But still, when we find ourselves in sort of more stretching or challenging postures, the response is often to hold the breath as if that's going to somehow make it easier. Okay, we want to keep that flow in and out, constant. Okay, fluid breathing, ocean breath. Now roll the body back up to a tabletop position. We're going to extend our left leg out long behind us, toes facing down to the earth. We're going to take a big sweep to the left side of the room, tap the toe down. Both arms are pressing away from the earth here. A big sweep up, imagine you're drawing a rainbow behind you, left toe taps to the right side of the room. Let's go back to the left. Let's go back to the right. And back to the left. Right through the midline, left leg is lifted. Now we're going to take a big step forward with that left foot that lands on the left side of the left hand. So many lefts. If you need to wrestle it forward, that's fine, okay? But it's kind of wide lunge going on. Come onto the fingertips. Try and lift the heart space here. Okay, pressing the hips down to the earth. Again, this is what I mean by trying to soften into this posture. Use your breath to find some more space. Tuck the right toes under. Lift that right knee up. If you're still on the fingertips, plant the palms down. Then press the ground away. Left foot's going to come to the back of the mat to meet the right. From this plank position, lower the knees toward the earth and then press the hips back to the sky. Downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, come up onto the toes, starting to roll the body forward into a high plank position. From here, drop the knees to the earth, drop the chest and the chin to the earth, untuck the toes and peel the heart space forward, baby cobra. Shoulders are away from the ears. Roll down, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll down. One more time, inhale, lift up. You should be able to get some air time with the hands here, okay? It's the back muscles doing the work. Exhale, roll down. Meet back, child's pose. Press the hips toward the heels. Again, closing down the eyes. Spread the fingertips wide on the mat here, okay? But you don't necessarily have to push into the ground. Okay, often it can be nice to do that, to get the hips closer to the heels. But again, we're just using this flow to really nurture the body, to open things up a little bit and just to reconnect. So let it be soft, let it be as heavy as you like, but allow yourself to feel grounded and rooted on the earth. Roll it back up to a tabletop position. We're going to go onto the right side. So when you're ready, let's see that right leg go long, toes facing down. And then a big sweep to the right side of the room, taps the toe down. A big rainbow bridge draws across the right toe to the left side of the room. Big sweep back to the right. Big sweep to the left. To the right. To the left. Back through center. Wrestling or stepping the right foot up to the top of the mat to the outside of the right hand. And then adjust yourself however you need to in this lunge position. We can be on the fingertips here, the heart space is open. We can take a little couple of movements, maybe swaying with the hips feels nice. Nothing crazy though, okay? Again, always coming back to our focus of kindness to the body. Then we're going to tuck our left toe, lift the left knee. If you're still on the fingertips, palms come down. Press the earth away. Step the right foot back to meet the left from this high plank position. Start to lower the knees toward the ground and then press back, downward facing dog. Gaze toward the hands from here, and you can walk, you can step, you can jump if you're feeling energetic to the hands to find a halfway lift. We've got straight legs and a flat back. Exhale to fold down, forward fold. And as we start to inhale, we're peeling the body up to a standing position. It's really slowly, really nice. All the way up. Beautiful. Okay, should be back at the top of the mat. Heel toe the feet mat width distance this time. Toes are facing out at slight diagonals. Hands come to heart space. Take a big inhale. Grow tall through the crown of the head as we do. And as we exhale, start to draw up the hips down. Dropping into this Malasana squat. Now maybe your heels start to lift, okay? That's fine, as long as you're feeling okay in this posture and you're not experiencing any pain around the knees or the hip joints. Okay, let your body lead you, okay? The aim, I guess, is to just find that bit more space through the hip flexors, that more length through the spine, okay? So we want to try and avoid being all kind of hunched into this posture. We want to still try and grow tall. If it's better for you to get a little bit of a move on here by swaying or rocking, then do. Hands are going to come to the earth. We're going to step it back to a plank position. Lower the knees to the earth. Lower the chest and the chin to the earth. Peel it forward, baby cobra. Exhale, roll back down. This time tuck the toes downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Doesn't matter how high, just send it up a little bit or a lot. As we exhale, the right foot steps between the palms. Again, if you need to wrestle it, then wrestle it. Get some air time with this left leg here, okay, as we step it forward. So bring it to a kind of standing split and then let it step toward the top of the mat next to the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we peel up. A nice, slow, gentle movement. Coming to the top of the mat. Look down to the feet. Let's heel toe the feet, mat width apart. Toes are facing at diagonals. Hands to heart space. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale to sink down. Find a nice deep malasana squat. And again, maybe a little wiggle, maybe a little bit of movement. Maybe you're all good. Maybe challenge yourself to grow taller or sink deeper. Plant the palms on the earth, step it back, high plank. From your high plank, lower the knees to the earth. Lower the chest and the chin to the earth. Peel the body forward, baby cobra. This time as we roll down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg lifts. Doesn't matter how high, exhale, step it through between the palms. As we step the right foot forward, try and get a little bit of air time and then bring it down to meet the left foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. As we inhale, start to peel the body up to a standing position. Nearly choked on my t-shirt there, that was fun. Meeting back at the top of the mat. Bring the hands to heart space here and close down the eyes. We're going to take a big cleansing breath before we continue on our journey and eventually end up down on the mat. So inhale as deep as possible through the nose. Exhale to sigh. Flickering the eyes open, we're going to breathe in, lift up, open through the chest. Exhale, dives down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to a downward facing dog. From this down dog, pull up onto the toes and roll the hips forward. Find a high plank position. Lower the knees to the earth and press the hips back to the heels. Child's pose. Keep those toes tucked. Stretch it out. As we inhale, we're going to shine that heart space forward, rolling through a kind of tabletop position, and then opening the chest, arching the back, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale to roll the body forward, find a high plank position. Lower the knees to the earth, toes stay tucked, child's pose. Inhale, roll it forward, shining that heart space open. Lift the chin. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we're going to come to sit on the mat. So however you choose to do that, you can hop between the hands, you can lower the knees, shuffle around, okay, really doesn't matter. When we get to the floor, we're going to have to reshuffle anyway because we're going to find a straddle seat. So a nice wide seat here, okay, so get yourself into some kind of position. Bring the hands behind the bum, lift the sit bones up, and then reposition and just see if that allows you to get some more space, okay? We're gonna start to go into our fold here. Now it's super important that we don't put any extra stress on the body here, okay? So if it's not happening for you today, then that's absolutely fine. It does not matter, okay? If your fold is like this today, that's fine, okay? Honor where your body is, okay? I'm about to say some more, shall I? Okay. Lift the chest. Grow tall through the spine, grow as much as possible. And then as you exhale, start to melt down into this fold. And again, there's no competition here about who can get flies to the earth. Close off the eyes and breathe into those areas of tension and resistance. I want you to take the next inhale and use it as an opportunity to lift a little bit, okay? So next time you breathe in, lift the chest. And then exhale. See if we can soften some more. Maybe that felt good. Maybe go again. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Let the body come all the way back upright. And then gently bring the legs back together. Come into face back to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms grow tall. This time we're going to find that fold over these straight legs. If it helps, walk the heels in a little bit, okay, and find that softness in the knee that we use in our standing fold, okay? We're trying to achieve that belly to thigh connection. But again, if that's not happening for you today, then no stress, okay, no worries. It's a nice passive fold, okay, so no grabbing and forcing. Let the body come all the way back upright. We've got one more fold. Soles of the feet come together just like we started. Drawing the heels in toward the body. Trying to make the spine nice and tall again. Always looking to grow through the crown of the head. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, start to melt down. At first, let's try and maintain this length, okay? That kind of flat back position and that growth. Then as you start to reach the depth of this, allow the body to melt and soften if that feels okay for you. You will be the best judge of this, so if something doesn't feel good, then abandon. Right, find a version that works for you. Body come all the way back upright. And we're going to find a seated position that feels okay for you. Okay, whatever that is. Maybe that's the legs crossed. Maybe it's something different. Okay, maybe it's more comfortable for you to sit on a cushion. Hands come to the knees. Chin comes down to chest. Make sure the shoulders are down and away from the ears and they haven't crept up like mine. Okay, bring them down. Roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Chin back to chest and right ear to right shoulder. One more time, chin to the chest, left ear to left shoulder. Chin through center, right ear, right shoulder. Chin back to chest and then head back to that natural position. Interlace the hands at the base of the skull here. Inhale, open the heart space, gaze up, stretching through the upper back. And as we exhale, rounding through the whole spine, especially the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale to open. And exhale to round closed. From here, release the hands, let them come back to the knees. Find a nice natural position with the spine. Growing tall, shoulders away from the ears. Close down the eyes. Ending this short practice with a couple of deep, connected breaths. And just notice any sensations in the body, any thoughts or feelings. And again, let the hands float up to a prayer position at heart center. Press the thumbs into the chest so we can really connect to the physical beat of the heart and the flow of the breath on our fingertips. Just take a moment of gratitude for all that your body allows and offers you. A moment of gratitude for every movement, every breath, and for every day. When you're ready, we're going to bow the forehead down to the fingertips. We're going to lift the head, open the eyes, and if you feel like it, you can smile. Thank you so much for sharing this short, slow flow with me. Hopefully it served you in some way. And if it did, please feel free to share, and feedback is always welcome. I hope that you're keeping well. I hope all is good. I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much.